we're going to do our June wrap-up.
So the first book we read is The Fault in Our Stars by John Green.
Yep.
We read this for the movie. I almost forgot we read this.
I know, it was so early in the month. Obviously.
It was great.
Winner.
5 out of 5 again.
Yep. So, and if obviously you haven't read it, go read it.
Go read it.
I guess.
We won't tell you what it's about.
Yep.
Because
you should know.
You should know by now.
Yeah.
We hope you know by now.
Yeah, we hope you know by now.
Okay. So.
Yep.
So the next book I read is Wonderstruck by Brian Selznick. And I really like this. Don't be intimidated because more than half of this book are
pictures.
Pictures. I actually really like the story and unlike how in Hugo Cabret the pictures took a part in telling the story, the pictures and the words in here are two separate stories, but at the end they entwine together and it gives you a satisfying conclusion, and I love this. It's so good.
So the second book that I read this month was The Here and Now by Amber Shares, and it was actually really good. It's about a group who comes over from the future, a plagued future, and they come to live in the past because it's safer and not plagued. And they have a set of rules that they're supposed to follow, like no falling in love with other people, no being treated in hospitals, stuff like that. And so pretty much this girl, she breaks the rules. And there's an adventure, and it's actually really good, and it's a really short read, so it really didn't take that long. So yeah.
The next book I read was The Unbound by Victoria Schwab, and this was a great sequel. Like, it didn't fall to second book syndrome where the sequel doesn't live up to the previous book. It was great, and I was wrong in the last video. I think it's gonna actually be a trilogy, not just a duology. Victoria Schwab is officially one of my favorite authors. I just love her writing, and this book is actually a super quick read. So was The Archived, and I can't tell you what this is about because spoilers, but if you haven't picked up the Archived series, you definitely should because it's so good and it's fast-paced and the characters are great.
Another book that we both read this month was This Is What Happy Looks Like by Jennifer E. Smith, and it was really
cute.
It's significantly longer than The Statistical Probability of Love at First Sight.
But it was a really quick read considering it's contemporary and nothing majorly angsty or heavy happens in it, and the relationship is really sweet.
Cute.
And and if you're looking, this is a perfect summer read.
Yes,
summer read.
Yep, 4th of July just passed. There's 4th of July inside of here.
Yeah.
That's not really another reason, but yep.
But yeah.
So definitely pick it up.
The next book, another book we also both read, was To All the Boys I've Loved Before.
Oh my goodness. Pretty much this girl, she, to end crushes that she has, she writes letters and she just lets out her heart, but she puts
sends
postage
it.
And she puts their address, but she never sends it. Yep, and there's 5 guys that she's loved before, and then one day they accidentally get sent out mysteriously, and then all these boys come and her love life gets super complicated, and it's really, really good.
And the thing I loved about this book was it didn't play into the typical plot line that it could have with what the summary kind of implies. The fact that the letters were sent out, it wasn't a major effect on her. You think all the guys would all of a sudden come up and want to settle whatever it is, but it's not.
It's a different outcome than you'd think it would.
It's so cute and it's so good, and this deserves all the stars.
All the stars.
I got Landline. I got Landline. I won it in a giveaway from St. Martin's Press, which is Rainbow Rowell's publishing company, and I can't tell you anything because the book didn't come out yet, but it was definitely good. Don't go into this expecting it to be a typical YA book, because it's not. It's an adult book, and it deals with a completely different, not a completely different topic, but heavier and more mature topic. And this book is about a relationship, a marriage between Georgie, who's the main character, and her husband Neil, and how there's been problems, and I guess they're kind of almost on the cusp of a divorce, and she wants she wants to fix it. But then like she goes home and visits her old home, and then she uses her old phone, and she somehow like is able to talk to her husband in the past. And again, you would think with like that summary, there's like that typical storyline where like she tries to fix her relationship, but it's not. Like the way Rainbow writes, it's just really good, and she doesn't disappoint again with this book, and you should definitely pick it up. The next book I read, or I finished, was The Name of the Star by Maureen Johnson, and it's about the Jack the Ripper murders happening in modern day London. And somehow this girl, Rory, who goes to London for boarding school, finds herself to be in like the middle of the whole thing. And I can't tell you how because it'd be like a big spoiler, but this was really good and it freaked me out because I scare easily. And I read this mostly at night when I was back in the hotel room, so it was really good though. So if you're looking for a
good horror
thriller. I'd say it's more of a thriller than a horror book. Pick this up.
The next book that I read was Bossy Pants by Tina Fey. I really like reading these kind of biographies because they're really entertaining and super hilarious, and Tina Fey is such an amazing actress and person in general, and so I was really excited when I picked this up at a used bookstore, and it was a pretty fast read. It's not very long and it was really good.
The next book I read is actually the book
Booksplosion Book of the Month.
Booksplosion Book of the Month for June. And they already had their live show, so go watch it if you're interested, because I'm probably not very eloquent at this. But this was really good. This is so good. Like but like the thing is, when you read this book, don't think about the hype and expectations because you just go into it blind, because then you get so much more out of it, and the ending is just the ending was really good, and it's I think it's satisfying. Like it's kind of sad though. So I'm not very good at this because I just got a lot of feels from this book. The more feels I get from a book, the less eloquent I get.
Blind.
So this book is really good, and you should go into this book completely blind because then it makes your reading experience so much better. Okay, the last book I read was my very first Neil Gaiman book, and I went into this book not knowing what it was about. It's about this guy. He goes back to visit his old home, and I guess he explores his memory of like a strange time in his life, and that sounds kind of weird, but this is really good. Like it has like fantasy-ish elements, and the characters aren't relatable, but I was sucked into his story, and like what mysterious thing in his past was so bad that like I guess he had like repressed memories of it. That's not a very good description, but yeah, that's it.
Cool, yeah. So that is our June wrap up.
We're sorry it's so late.
Yep, sorry it's like super late, but it's okay. It's okay. Oh, by the way, we have a Bookstagram, an Instagram, a Bookstagram.
Because we only post pictures of books on there.
Yep. So yeah, it's at T-Stained Books.
It's T-Stained Books,
yeah,
lowercase, no spaces.
Yep.
So if you're interested, check it out.
Follow.
That's it for today.
Yep, cool.
Bye.
Bye.